Khamzat Chimaev is back after a COVID-19 health scare, and he's ready to continue his ascension to the throne. This Russian-born Swedish mixed martial artist competes in the welterweight and middleweight division in the UFC. On top of being a dominant wrestler, Chimaev has that one-punch knockout power we don't always see in this division. Not only a great fighter, but a celebrity now in Sweden and well known in Russia due to his Chechen ethnicity, Khamzat continues to gain popularity throughout the MMA community. In this video, we'll do a dive into the weight that Khamzat carries as someone of Chechen ethnicity and how it relates to its nickname, his net worth, lifestyle, and more. Thanks for joining us, and remember to like and comment below. Now let's get started. Number 1. Chechen ethnicity and rise to fame. Khamzat Chimaev grew up around the war-torn country of Chechen and started wrestling at the age of 5. He was already a dominant athlete at a young age, winning the bronze medal in the Russian national championships at the junior levels. At the age of 19, he immigrated to Sweden with his mother, joining his older brother who was already established there. Chimaev references back to his Chechen ethnicity many times throughout his short UFC career, referencing the war and constant fighting occurring all the time. He uses it as motivation and says that he was essentially raised with fighting everywhere. In the lead up to his potential fight with Neil Magny, Khamzat said, "Be ready in June. I'm going to give you a real Chechen inside the cage and outside." Another reference back to his home is the nickname Boards. This is an umbrella term that was applied to all improvised submachine guns produced during the years of the independence of the Chechen Republic. Khamzat has brought this kind of mentality and ruthlessness inside the ring with his recent fights. Over the course of 4 fights, Khamzat has spent a total of only 9 minutes, dominating his opponents throughout that time. With his first 2 fights, he showed why Dana White thought he was the next big thing in the UFC. He controlled his opponents and mauled them throughout the rounds until they made a mistake. This is where Khamzat would go in for the kill, winning by submission. What's been even more incredible is his stand-up skills. He won against Rhys McKee and Gerald Meerschaert with knockout power. MMA fans and experts have dubbed him Khabib 3.0 due to his dominance in both stand-up and on the ground. Here are some of his highlights from those fights, and his knockout against Gerald is a thing of beauty. Just watch and see how he stalks his opponent like a predator and finishes the job without hesitation.
Khamzat Chimaev, I love him. I think he's aggressive. And, brother, tell me, I'll fight anybody, brother. Like, I mean, brother.
I'll smash them.
Give me 1 hour, brother, I swear.
Dana said one of the most special fighters that he's ever seen. He said he's very special. He said, I've never seen anybody like him.
That dude's unreal. He just destroyed his opponent twice in 2 weeks. Like, gotta give it to him. That guy's a savage. And his dedication to just staying on weight and then fighting someone bigger and then going down the welterweight to fight someone, gotta give it to him.
This guy is one of the most special fighters I've ever seen, if not the most special guy that I've ever come across. And he kept telling me leading up to this fight, "You think I'm a wrestler. You think I'm a wrestler. Wait till you see my hands."
Number 2. Lifestyle and net worth. After that viral knockout, Khamzat blew up on social media and received the full attention of MMA fans. He's ranked number 16 in the top Instagram followers list, beating out champions such as Kamaru Usman and Rose Namajunas. It goes to show that the hype can easily multiply, and although Chimaev has not achieved the same ascension as Conor McGregor, a couple more wins and he might just be there. Yet with all the newfound fame, Khamzat has not strayed away from his gym, workouts, and doing the same routine he's always been doing. Of course, he has had his hiatus away from the sport and training in general after recovering from COVID-19, but he's now hungrier than ever. seeking to make up for the time he's been out and the opportunity he had to pass up on. Doing well for himself, Khamzat is still not a ranked fighter and has not yet achieved the pay-per-view cuts like that of other top fighters in the league. However, with the sponsorships and his current contract, he has a net worth of $1 million. Not bad for someone who only has 4 fights in the UFC. What's next for Khamzat Chimaev? Khamzat's fast start has now stalled, but there's still a lot of eyes on his next fight and potential. Like some of the other dark horses in the organization, Chimaev didn't have a lot of suitors ready to fight against him after his most recent performances. When you have fighters who do this for a living turning you down, it's clear that Boris is something special. Do you think Khamzat is an elite fighter, or were those wins somewhat of a fluke? Who in the top 15 would pose a good fight for this relatively new fighter in the UFC? Let us know what you think about this video and the lifestyle that Khamzat has. Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next time on Knockout TV.